Is there a relationship between language and personality? Between 700 and 800 BC, Charlemagne stated, "To have another language is to possess a second soul." And after centuries, in 1964, Benjamin D. Worf and Edward Sapir formulated the so-called Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. In this theory, the scholars affirm that the cognitive development of each human being is influenced by the spoken language. Worf observed that in order to communicate thoughts and experiences with members of a community, one must shape experiences into the form of the linguistic categories of the common language in a process called thinking to speak. Worf's theory has been source of debates among scholars and scientists, leading to a growing interest in the field and a great deal of innovative researches. According to these researches, the scholar was right. When we change our linguistic code, we make a series of changes because each language is the result of a different personal experience. Our language influences our ego to such an extent that it can affect not only our attitudes, our point of view, our emotions and perceptions, but also our choices. On one article of The Economist in 2013, scholars state that an individual, if exposed to different cultures, is influenced in his or her way of being, leading to a true change in one's personality. It is in this article that multilinguals are firstly associated with chameleons due to their ability to adapt so much to the spoken language to change their personalities. But what do we mean when we talk about language? A French philosopher named Claude Agege defined the language as windows through which communities put the universe into words. Theoretically, the language is an interpersonal communication code that enables us to communicate with one another between individuals and communities. It is in communities that languages embody an essential role. A community identifies itself as a group sharing certain behaviors and a code, that is to say, the language, which becomes the emblem of the identity of that social group. The language is a tool used by a community to represent itself, and in this way, it is the expression and the result of a determined culture and mindset. Indeed, language and culture have always influenced each other. As explained by Brunner, learning a language means learning the cultural models linked to it. Lev Vygotsky stated that the same functioning of the mind has socio-cultural origins, and also found out that culture and language play a fundamental role in mind shaping. Linguistic behavior is the expression of a social and individual personality, and it is also a way to express the deep structure of the self. But what do we mean when we talk about personality? The term personality comes from the Latin word personalitate, which refers to the masks worn by the actors to play different roles. The interest for personality appeared in 400 BCE with Socrates, and then developed until the 20th century with the idea that a subject's personality was reflected in the way reality appeared to him and in the ideas he expressed. More recent studies define the personality as made up by traits. It is precisely the personality traits that change, along with the tones, along with the behaviors, along the body language, that we unconsciously assume when we use a language other than our mother tongue. The change that our personality undergoes when we speak a language other than our own is the symbol of our adaptation, of our need to imitate the socially accepted behavior of a certain society, of the cultural awareness that we acquire and we make our own exclusively through a language. The ability that man has to change his sense solely on the basis of the use of a certain linguistic code shows how much he is able to shape his form at will, and how, through the mere use of a language, we are able to change something deeper, something hidden. That is what Charlemagne described as possessing a second soul.